Okay. Let's try this. Right, let's turn this on. Dusty, come here. Just gonna get myself all set up. It's been a while. And then I'm gonna try and stick some colour down on this guy. Hopefully it's coming around okay. Hey Tuffy. Hello. Hopefully you can hear me okay, see everything okay. It's been a while. But I thought, given the fun and games, let's try and get some streaming going again. My dog is currently trying to bust out the door. Dusty, what are you doing? Come here. Come here. Right, let's crack on with this then, shall we? Like I said, I'm just having a bit of fun. Crikey, what happened to that green? I didn't realise I used that much green. So we're going to do some contrast, I think, on this guy. It is, what's this from? This is from Wood Elves, right? Or Sylvaneth. But he's actually from, he will be used in the Silver Tower game. He's one of the heroes you can have in Silver Tower, so that's what he's going to be used in. We will keep him fairly not Dark Angels, don't want that. Kind of a bluey green, that one, I don't want that. Yeah, not a lot else to do at the moment, you're absolutely right. Luckily, we all have a huge pile of shame that we can get painting with. This one might be a fun colour. I've not actually used this one before. I'm going to use Contrast's Creed Camo. And I'm going to do that for his cloak. You alright then there, dog? Lay down then, it's alright. Give this a go. I'm going to grab a small layer brush. Hey, Ike Holland, UK. How are you? Hope everyone's well. Tuffy, hope you're well. Yeah. We're all as good as we can be, I guess, for the time being. Now, I may break for... I know tonight the Prime Minister's coming on telly about 8:30, so I want to see what that is, because I think it's going to be more to do with various lockdown stuff. But otherwise, we can keep the chat to totally other things other than all of that. Yeah. Yeah, and that's all we basically can say. Nothing's known, but the Prime Minister's been coming on at 5 o'clock each day to give a bit of an address of the situation. Today it wasn't happening because he was running another Cobra meeting, and therefore he said the Cobra meeting was, I think, specifically about what other potential controls could they put in place, and he would be talking about that at 8:30 this evening. Not yet. But maybe it's to address the... who knows? Do let me know if this is not in focus or anything, guys. You're recorded. Yeah, I'm still churning my way through episodes of Critical Role, which I think even they've stopped recording now, so I might be coming to the end of those. But then there's always something else. Ah, cool. Yeah, I saw that they've done like that camera's right. Yeah, I've seen that they've done. Is it a Doom one shot and stuff? Might be fun to watch. I'm fortunate because I'm quite a late adopter of the Critical Role, so I've got a whole ton of stuff I can watch of those guys. Hey Miguel, howdy indeed. Thanks for joining. Thanks for saying hello. Thanks, man. I actually don't know what it is. I got it a long time ago. I know it's Warhammer, so therefore it's either old wood elves or something, whatever it's called now. I have no idea. But it's actually one of the heroes you can use in Elf on the Shelf. Yeah, it's one of the elves you can use in what's it called? Silver Tower. So my family and I are big fans of Hero Quest. Silver Tower is kind of the next evolution of that. So when we picked it up, I also went through and got all of the optional heroes you can have, because there's dwarves, all sorts you can be. So that you got quite a large variety of which hero you're going to play as, and therefore I have yeah. And this tonight was just a bit of a test stream, get back into the swing of it. So I just opened up my drawers and went, right, what have I got there that's primed and ready to be painted? And this guy was looking at me, so I thought, ah, sod it, we'll paint you. Hence the, you know, happy to do it in contrast, because it's just a board game piece, really. And to be honest, I've become a big fan of the contrast anyway. I save kind of traditional painting for stuff that I really care about, but when it's about mostly just churning things out, I'm quite happy to chuck a bit of contrast down on them. Oh, I'll have to watch that one. Tuffy, they did a Cthulhu one. I watched that. Dungeon Quest, yeah. Oh, yeah, don't even get me started on things like Dungeon Saga, which is all above my head right now, and I haven't done it, and I don't know if I ever will, but I was tempted to paint my Hero Quest, but I don't know if I want to keep it pure. Yeah, I don't know, I haven't decided yet. I've seen some very nice painted versions. I thought you did, yeah. Firstly, Various, thank you very much for joining. Secondly, no, seriously, I'm not. I am an amateur painter at best. There are some extremely talented people that stream. I stream just for the fun of it and just talk to people whilst I'm doing it. But thank you. I think my Instagram's below, so you can see the sorts of stuff I've done in the past, but none of it is above kind of, it's, you know, half decent tabletop is what I'll call it. Certainly anything anyone is capable of doing. Bit of fluff in his eye for some reason. Where's my That's not getting it. I need, where's my little tweezers? Got a bit of stringy primer. What's that just there? That's got it. Well, thanks everyone that's joining. It's great to say hello to some people. Oh, Alexa, stop! I wasn't talking to you. I don't think I said anything that sounded like the activation word for that. Ah, yes. Now, I would be excited if I hadn't already seen all the episodes of The Mandalorian, which is definitely worth it if you haven't seen it yet. Hey Bendy, thank you very much. It's a hero from Silver Tower, but I must look it up. I will do in a sec. I'll look up what this thing actually is. I know it's going to be one of the heroes from the AL. Like back in the day, I'm assuming it was Wood Elves, and it's now A Elves, or maybe it's even Sylvaneth. But it's from that ilk. Someone may already know. Ah, that is, yeah, the old series of Gargoyles was cool. You are correct. Yeah, no, but you can use it as a hero in Silver Tower. So it's not from the original set. Let's have a quick look. Let's have a quick butchers of what this thing is. Games Workshop. Wow, Games Workshop has never been visited on this machine before. It wasn't coming up as an autocomplete. So that's weird. It's not even on their thing now. It's the only Warhammer Quest game they show on their website anymore is the 40k version. So let's go. Is it Sylvaneth? He looks Sylvaneth-y to me. Maybe not. If he is, he's a hero. Nope, he's not Sylvaneth. That means he's an elf. Let's have a look. Grand Alliance. He's an elf. Here we go. Right, he's going to be here somewhere. Where is he? He is. Come on. Maybe he doesn't do him anymore. Maybe he's that. Oh, there he is. Nomad. He's a nomad prince. From what range is he from? Doesn't actually say. Nomad princes are the lords of the deep wood host. There you go. But that's what he is. He's a nomad prince. There you go. Tailspin, Darkwing Duck, and the original DuckTales. Yeah. No, they're all classics. You're not wrong there. You're not wrong. But yeah, I essentially have a whole drawer full of sort of one-off heroes. For things like just because I like them, but I know you can use them in Silver Tower, but potentially also for D&D, you know. So I do tend to pick up all the hero models because they're normally really nice sort of one-off things. Cities of Sigma, yeah, probably. That's probably about right. Means they kind of decimated most of the old world things. Alright, let's move on to... what does he actually look? You can actually get an idea from the armour and stuff. Yeah, lots of browns and greens as you'd expect. Some skelly bone on the antlers. Let's go with some skeleton horde, shall we? I think when I come to do the armour, I don't think it will work with contrast, so I'll probably switch to some ordinary paints for that. No, do tell. I'm very guilty with Star Wars Legion. I've completely painted 2 forces and I've never actually played it. They're in the cabinet behind me. I've even built an entire Tatooine table, 3D printed all the buildings, yeah, I've done everything, and I've yet to actually throw down the dice. Given the current situation, I'm sure that will change. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, the more they can add into it. Let's have a look at this. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. That'll be as popular as hell. Right, I'm actually going to do this entire tabard in this colour as well, and then I'll come back with the metallics on the sort of the armoured piece. Just so I can tie the top and bottom of the model together. Oh, nice. They look cool. Do they shoot any better? I've got to clean up that bit there. So for any cleaner, I'm going to just use Corax White. Oh, actually, I've got some open. That was a new pot. Yeah. Yes, I will keep this staff as white as possible. Quite like it being white. I might go for an orangey colour for the hair. Let's see how this looks. If I don't like it, I can always go for it at a later stage. Yeah, I think that's going to be alright. Yeah, and I can tidy this any over spillage here. I can, because I'm going to come back with like a gold or something. I can tidy all that hairline up nicely. That looks alright. I quite like the colour of that for hair. Go with a snake bite leather. Anyone else painting out there or doing anything hobby wise? Just chilling? Feel free to post pictures and stuff. I think it's a distinct possibility, Tuffy. And, you know, we asked for it, so... We had one job, and we couldn't do it. Yeah. I mean, I'm quite fortunate that my job is, it's been working from home now for last 10 months, I think I've been doing it now, so my situation didn't really change. So I advise CTOs, so those are chief technical officers of companies, how to get the best from cloud technology, specifically Google technology. And that's both the technical part of that equation, but also the cultural and behavioural changes as well that kind of technology brings. Yeah. So luckily, huge amounts of that can be done remotely. You can also obviously go and see companies, and that's what often I do. But a lot of the time, I can do that just on a call or using like Hangout technology, that sort of thing. But yeah. So whether that's people thinking about how they run their e-commerce platform, or whether it's their collaboration solution for their company, that sort of stuff. But it's not just about firing up new tech, it's, you know, what was the objective? How are you going to measure success? All those sorts of things. Yeah, that's the day job. And I've been in technology for about 20 years at this point. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of a company called, probably the most famous one I've worked for is Just Eat, where I was the director of technology for Just Eat for a long period of time, from when it was a very small company to the huge monster it is now. Which was good fun, but kind of like not working for large organisations. Starting your own collection. Do you mean specifically Warhammer, or is there a certain area of the hobby you like? I mean, people tend to break it down into fantasy, and that can be like high fantasy like Lord of the Rings, or science fiction fantasy, a bit like 40k, or that kind of, you know, space stuff. Historical, so that can be anything from, I don't know, when does her historical really start? World War II and before, I guess. Yeah, so think about, I mean, I highly recommend, if you just want to grab box of models and play with them, the start collecting boxes from Games Workshop are really good and ridiculous value. I'll show you one. I've got. Let me grab one for you, and I can show you. Right. So let me grab a better one than that. 1 second. I'll grab you a good box. Yeah, let's take this one for instance. Let's say you're into sort of, you know, the undead and skeletons and stuff, right? So you can get something like this, which is the start collecting box for Skeleton Horde. And the reason why I say it's good value is because you can pick this box up for probably about 40 quid, maybe 42, 43 pound, maybe even slightly cheaper if you go to the right places. And that model there is the cost of that straight away. So pretty much everything else in the box you're getting for free. So, and it's a good way of getting something you can play with. There's loads of different ways, but Games Workshop's the easiest to get hold of. What else is really cool? I'm sure these guys in the chat will be able to tell you 100 different things that are really, but I'm a big fan of, I mean, I've got a lot of Games Workshop stuff, but I have got equally lots of stuff from other companies as well, because most people, I think, start in Games Workshop and then you discover that there is a world outside of Games Workshop, and they also do really cool stuff. So what can I recommend? I could certainly recommend. I mean, I really love a game called Volsung by a company in Poland called Micro Art Studios. That's kind of steampunky. I don't know if it's. I don't know how would you describe it. Like 1940s, but steampunky. It's really cool. If I look around my room, what else have I got that's really cool? Star Wars Legion, if you like Star Wars. That's Fantasy Flight Games. Bushido, if you like sort of Japanese, sort of, you know, samurai type times, right? But with a bit of fantasy in it. Oh, the list goes on and on and on. If you've not looked at the website, go to ontabletop.com or beastsofwar.com. They'll take you to the same place. I'm sure someone will type it in the chat, but ontabletop.com or beastsofwar.com, it's an entire website dedicated to the hobby, and you will find 1,000,001 references of things to go and look at. But yeah, you can't go wrong with the Start Collecting box, and they do them for 40k and they do them for Warhammer Fantasy. So depending on what you're into, you will find something you want to do. And then for paint sets, I recently picked up one called the Vallejo Basic, I think it's called, Basic Range or something, and it's really, really good. It's like about £1 a pot, so I think you're getting 25 paints for about 25 to 30 pounds, but the colour range is really good. And there's a silver, and there's a gold, and there's a black, and there's a white, and then there's lots of colours in between. Where most paint sets, even GW's ones, are normally missing something quite critical, and therefore you don't have a good range. But for most beginners, if they picked up that Vallejo set, not only is it good paint, it covers pretty much all bases. And you could build up a collection from there. Then you could start going, okay, what do I want? I want maybe actually I think it might even have a wash in it, but I want a wash, or I want a shade, or I want something in between, and I don't want to mix colours. Or you might look at technical paints, like, you know, if you want to cheat and paint blood, you can literally just buy a bottle of, you know, blood for the blood god, which literally looks like wet blood when you paint it on. So there's lots of neat tips and tricks out there. Watch some streamers. You know, I would definitely paint more than you watch. I think that's the tip everyone says. You know, you learn by just doing. Throw paint on the model. If it doesn't look good, you can always reprime it. Start thin, paint really thin layers of paint, and then if you ever want to paint over something, it's really easy. Yeah. But yeah, join. Look at the community on Tabletop, and maybe join it and ask questions. But also ask here. You're welcome, and welcome to the hobby. Hopefully that'd be really cool. Another person in the hobby. Right, so I'm going to do these braces gold, the chest gold, the belt gold, these kind of shin guards gold. Good night, sir. Thank you very much for coming and saying hello. The bird I'm going to do... Oh. What happened there? The music stopped. The video is paused. Do you want to continue watching? Yes, I do. Why was my video paused? I didn't pause it. Spooky. Someone paused my video. Yes, this is going to be gold. We've got the rope on the back. We can do that quickly with a bit of snakebite leather for the cord. And then we'll probably do the bird, and then I'm going to go around with all the golds. But as a side hobby, I can definitely recommend it. I do this because it's nice when you've finished work to do something that's not work related. So yes, I could go and play video games, but my life evolves around technology. So if I can have the opportunity to do something that's not technology related, then I will. And this is quite a cool way to chill. I'm looking for something I want to do with this bird now. I do indeed watch Netflix. I just got finished watching Kingdom, which is the sort of feudal Japan zombie outbreak series, which is really, really good. That, and of course the season of Castlevania. So I'm not currently in the middle of anything on Netflix. Daybreak. Have I seen Daybreak? It doesn't immediately ring a bell, so maybe not. Tell me. Am I missing something awesome? Is Glee the like a? I mean, only thing I know that from was it a movie or a TV show which was like the high school, it's like a high school musical type thing. Is it similar to that? Which I must admit doesn't immediately sound like my sort of thing, but hey, open mind and all that. Why have I got two of those? I feel like I'm missing something. Right, so I'm going to just do the bird because I'm going to use contrast paint for the bird, and then I'm going to switch to just standard paint for the armour. Now I can't decide what I want to do this bird. I guess quite a sandy colour. Then I might try and do some bright colour on the feathers. I don't know is the answer to that question. Probably at least a couple of hours, I'd have thought. I'm in the swing of it, so I'll keep going. This is my first stream for quite some time, so it'd be nice to... I reckon I'm definitely finishing this model. I've already made that decision, so I'll be on here until this is finished. So maybe certainly a couple of hours. And I'm just happy people are here. They have, you know, sometimes it's you lot that sort of keep someone streaming, because if no one was watching, or there was no actually I'm not bothered about people watching. I'm bothered about having interaction. So if no one was interaction, regardless if I had a million watchers, it would you know, I like the interaction. So if no one was saying anything, I probably wouldn't last very long. But as long as there's people here and there's people sort of willing to just say, hey, you know, what are you up to? Cool model. I did this today. Whatever. Then I will probably not notice the time and stick around. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my little bird is getting some lovely coloured plumage. Then we'll decide what the other layer's going to be. In fact, chat, you can pick. What's the other feather colour going to be? We've got blue. Where do we go? Where do we go from blue? What's that? What's that intermediate? What's that middle section of feather colour going to be? Yeah, we could fade into a purple. Okay, so we're in the world of blues and purples. Okay, so let me see what I can do here. These are probably my two candidates, I reckon. What have I got over here? I think that's... Give these three a shake. Even while I shake my maracas. Oh, let's have a look, Tuffy. Oh yes, that's from Warcry. I have that on the table to my left over here. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but this is all Warcry behind me here, all painted up. I painted that up last week, and it's a cool little game. Yes, what I have. That's what I got. I've had it for ages. I bought it when it came out. It's one of those things that was sat there doing nothing. So I've recently decided to kind of get these things out and at least get them on the table. So behind me I now have a full set for Kill Team, a full set painted up for Shadespire, and a full set, actually quite a bit painted up for Warcry, just because sometimes these games are easier to break out than a full game of 40k or a full game of fantasy, but it's super quick to get Warcry out, super quick to play a game of Shadespire, and they're actually quite nice little games. Warcry is definitely simpler. It's a very simple hack and slash. Just go out, get on the table and have two armies or two warbands just hack each other to death. That's pretty much the premise of the game, and the rule set plays to that. Where Shadespire is a bit more tactical, and you do have to think about holding objectives and when's the right time to attack versus defend. There is a lot more thought on when am I going to play my power cards. There's no playing of like cards or anything in Warcry. It is my guys against your guys. Let's go at it. Warcry, I reckon you could play. I mean, my 8-year-old plays it, but I've played most games with as young as like 5 and 6, especially that, because that's just look at the card, and even the cards are really good because have I got any to hand? I haven't got any to hand right now, but the cards are all pictures, so there are no words. You don't need to read. It's literally this symbol means attack, and that's how many dice I roll when I attack. This is how far I can move, and so on and so forth. So it's really simple, and there's no to hit. It's just wounding. It's just Normally you have to roll to hit and then roll to wound. Both options you can miss, or you can save. This is just I'm going to hit you, and my weapon does this much damage, and I've hit you, and I'm going to roll to see if I was successful in the wounding. So it's a much easier game. So yeah, young ages like 6, 7, 8, easy. Now full game of like Warhammer Fantasy or Age of Sigmar and 40k, you definitely will struggle with those kind of ages, but it can be done. My kids play pretty much everything. Shade Spire, I would say, maybe a bit tough if you're young, because there is cards. You know, imagine it's a Magic the Gathering. No, maybe not quite nowhere near as complex as that. But there is card element, like playing cards. So you do need to know what the cards say and how they read and what they mean. He's coming out alright, this guy, I think. Got a long way to go. Got quite a bit to do still, but he's looking alright. Yeah, there you go, stat cards. Thanks, Tuffy. Yeah, so you've literally got like the first symbol, which is the arrow with the crosshair. That's the distance I can attack. So this guy's an up close fighter. You can only attack 1 inch away from him. The other one is how many attack dice he can roll. So he can roll 2, and his strength is 6. So if you're toughness 4, you hit on 1 lower. If you're toughness 5, you hit on 1 lower. So if he was hitting a toughness 4 person, I'd have to roll 3s. If I was fighting against someone with higher toughness than my strength, it would be up 1. It'd be 5s. You're always critting on 6s. So it doesn't matter what the other person has, lower or higher toughness. They could have 10 toughness. I still hit them on 6s. If I hit someone normally, I get 4 damage on them. If I critical hit them, I do 8 damage to them. That's what the 4/8 means. And at the top there, you've got how much I can move, which is 4, and then I've got 30 hit points. So in this game, unlike other games, most of your guys might have 1 or 2 hit points. Right? Space Marine, if it's not a Primaris Space Marine, has 1 hit point, or a Grunt in Warcry would have 1 hit point, like a Skaven Rat would have 1 hit point. But in Warcry, they have maybe a Skaven Clan Rat might have like 15. And this guy here has got like 30 wounds. So it takes an awful lot to kill him. But you are doing significantly more damage, right? You could roll those 2 attacks, get 2 6s, and then you've just done 16 damage to somebody. You know, so you can wipe people out fairly fast. What's my take on I'm not going to joke about it. It's extremely serious. You know, as a man with 4 kids and a family, I think you have to look at it and take it very seriously and listen to the advice we're being given by the government. We're in unprecedented, unknown territory, and I think if anyone does anything other than take it very seriously, they could be letting themselves in for a bit of a shocker. You know, what's happened around the world, you know, look at Italy right now. That is us. There is no secret to this. We're going that direction. So we will see thousands die, very sadly. And I can only hope that, not so much myself, but I really hope my family can come out the other side. If anyone's got to go, you've heard me say it here, you can take me. You're not taking them. Take me. That's absolutely fine. Yeah, exactly. Nobody knows. Exactly. All we can do is look at what is happening. And what is happening is very serious. So I'm going to just pause the music for a bit, guys. You don't have to listen to this if you don't want to, but I am going to see if the Prime Minister's on television, given the importance of all of this, and see if he's there. I understand if you want to leave and go somewhere else.
There now follows a ministerial broadcast from the British Prime Minister.
Yeah, if you want to go, otherwise you can feel free to listen. If you can't hear it, let me know and I'll turn it up.
Good evening. The coronavirus is the biggest threat this country has faced for decades, and this country is not alone. All over the world we're seeing the devastating impact of this invisible killer. And so tonight I want to update you on the latest steps we're taking to fight the disease and what you can do to help. And I want to begin by reminding you why the UK has been taking the approach that we have. Without a huge national effort to halt the growth of this virus, there will come a moment when no health service in the world could possibly cope, because there won't be enough ventilators, enough intensive care beds, enough doctors and nurses. And as we've seen elsewhere in other countries that also have fantastic healthcare systems, that is the moment of real danger. To put it simply, if too many people become seriously unwell at one time, the NHS will be unable to handle it, meaning more people are likely to die, not just from coronavirus, but from other illnesses as well. So it's vital to slow the spread of the disease, because that is the way we reduce the number of people needing hospital treatment at any one time, so we can protect the NHS's ability to cope and save more lives. And that's why we've been asking people to stay at home during this pandemic. And though huge numbers are complying, and I thank you all, the time has now come for us all to do more. From this evening, I must give the British people a very simple instruction. You must stay at home. Because the critical thing we must do to stop the disease spreading
Sure, Bendy.
households. That is why people will only be allowed to leave their home for the following very limited purposes. Shopping for basic necessities as infrequently as possible. One form of exercise a day, for example, a run, walk or cycle, alone or with members of your household. Any medical need to provide care or to help a vulnerable person, and travelling to and from work, but only where this is absolutely necessary and cannot be done from home. That's all. These are the only reasons you should leave your home. You should not be meeting friends. If your friends ask you to meet, you should say no. You should not be meeting family members who do not live in your home. You should not be going shopping except for essentials like food and medicine. And you should do this as little as you can. And use food delivery services where you can. If you don't follow the rules, the police will have the powers to enforce them, including through fines and dispersing gatherings. To ensure compliance with the government's instruction to stay at home, we will immediately close all shops selling non-essential goods, including clothing and electronic stores, and other premises, including libraries, playgrounds and outdoor gyms and places of worship. We'll stop all gatherings of more than 2 people in public, excluding people you live with. And we'll stop all social events, including weddings, baptisms and other ceremonies, but excluding funerals. Parks will remain open for exercise, but gatherings will be dispersed. No Prime Minister wants to enact measures like this. I know the damage that this disruption is doing and will do to people's lives, to their businesses and to their jobs. And that's why we've produced a huge and unprecedented programme of support both for workers and for business. And I can assure you that we will keep these restrictions under constant review. We will look again in 3 weeks and relax them if the evidence shows we are able to. But at present, there are just no easy options. The way ahead is hard, and it is still true that many lives will, sadly, be lost. And yet it is also true that there is a clear way through. Day by day, we are strengthening our amazing NHS with 7,500 former clinicians now coming back to the service. With the time you buy, by simply staying at home, we are increasing our stocks of equipment. We are accelerating our search for treatments. We're pioneering work on a vaccine. And we're buying millions of testing kits that will enable us to turn the tide on this invisible killer. I want to thank everyone who is working flat out to beat the virus. Everyone from the supermarket staff to the transport workers to the carers to the nurses and doctors on the front line. But in this fight, we can be in no doubt that each and every one of us is directly enlisted. Each and every one of us is now obliged to join together to halt the spread of this disease, to protect our NHS and to save many, many thousands of lives. And I know that as they have in the past, so many times, the people of this country will rise to that challenge, and we will come through it stronger than ever. We will beat the coronavirus, and we will beat it together. And therefore, I urge you, at this moment of national emergency, to stay at home, protect our NHS, and save lives. Thank you.
Well, that's it. Miguel, that's exactly what he's just done. We've gone into what's effectively called lockdown, like other countries have done. Well, let me turn that down a bit. Lockdown it is, yeah, and you know, I didn't think we'd actually do it because I didn't think he'd want to be the Prime Minister that did it, but given what the lack of control people seem to have and the inability to follow simple instructions, I think he has no choice. So good on him. Do I think it's going to change anything? I don't know. Are people clever enough to still follow it or still just do whatever they damn well please? We're talking about a nation that when they get told, you know, we're in a global pandemic but McDonald's is closing, they choose that time of the day to all rush out and queue up for miles at the local McDonald's because it's going to be closed for a few weeks. I don't have a huge amount of hope for us. But he's doing the right things. Given no one knows what the right answer is, he's doing what needs to be done, I think. So I can't fault him for that. Yeah, I bet. And I know there's people that, this, again, I'm fortunate in what I do. I can do it from anywhere. But there are people that are worrying. But again, look at what he's doing around getting the government to pay salaries and stuff. It is horrible. You're absolutely right, Various. It is. And it ain't going to be easy, and it's going to be strange and weird, and we're all going to, at some point, vast majority of us are all going to get sick. I'd love to say that we're not, but if they reckon 80% of the population are going to get sick, then I don't assume I'm in that 20%. I assume I'm in the 80%. Well, that's what it's all about. The NHS can succeed, but only if we all, supply doesn't outstrip demand. Demand doesn't outstrip supply. That's what I mean. That's why we just need to prolong it. That's why he wants us to stay home, so that when we get it, which we will, we get it at a time where lots of people don't also get it, and there's enough for everybody. This gold is very similar to the actual brown on the cloak. I might have to change the colour of this. It's too close. I bet you guys can't even tell the difference between the gold and the leather. Well, maybe a little bit, but it's quite similar in its colour, in its tone. Let's see if this changes anything. Let's see if people still think the right thing to do is to fight it and not self-isolate or restrict movement, all that sort of stuff. Because the next stage after that is military on the streets, right? Thanks, Various. Thanks for coming and saying hello. Appreciate it. See you again, hopefully. Yeah, stay safe, man. Yeah, I bet. Sometimes I do wish I would paint things or paint certain things before I attach it to the model, because I've made a job for myself here with this shield. Yeah, I've been painting for an hour, so that's good progress for an hour in. Can't complain. Alright, let's do that bit of the shield. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to change the colour of like the skirting he's wearing, because it just looks awful. It's too close. It's too close to the colour of the gold. So it's a shame, but it's the right thing to do, because I don't like it. So what we're going to do is Corax white all this stuff back. Yeah, he certainly did. He's basically saying, I gave you all a chance, but you decided to be dicks about it, so now I'm going to remove you. I'm going to ground you. We've been grounded. And I am in complete agreement. But again, let's see if it makes a blind bit of difference to people. The problem with the British people is they don't really like being told what to do. That is a trait that we have. Pretty sure if you boiled Brexit down, if you took all the the undertone of racism and hate in the country, it would also come down to we just don't like being told what to do, and therefore lots of people voted to stop that. So again, will people listen when they're being told not to do something? I don't know. This might sound a bit weird, but I actually quite like this Corax white over this brown in a kind of thin layer. It looks quite woodlandy and earthy, and quite a good contrast against the gold. I might stick with this. What do you reckon? Quite like it. Who's still out there? Tuffy, I think you're still there. Anyone else? Miguel, you still there, or anyone else joined? Say hello. Anyone else still hanging around? So Tuffy, the Warcry box you picked up, did you manage to get it cheap, or was it just in a local store or something? Because that box must be pretty. Is it still for sale? I can't remember. Because these box games tend to disappear really quick, don't they? Can't remember if Warcry did Warcry actually stick around as a box game. I can't remember if you can still buy it. No, I think the box game went, didn't it? Because it came with a shed ton of, as you've well seen, it came with a shed ton of terrain. That's pretty good. Because I'm sure, as you've already seen, it's got tons of terrain in it, hasn't it? I just did it all with spray cans, a bit of sort of zenithing here and there, and dusting it with various colours, and it came out pretty good. And then just dry brushed bits and pieces. I sort of started building it one morning, sprayed it in the afternoon, and then it was done. Then I had to go out and buy all the packs of cards for every faction so that I could play any faction I wanted to play. Because that's the thing you need those cards. Because I don't think they put the rules anywhere else apart from the cards. For them, you can use Battle Scribe. I think has it as a option. Nice. Yeah, I mean, I tend to buy a lot of stuff from Beasts of War, because it feels like I'm sort of giving them a bit of extra support. But then I've also got a local hobby shop that it is really tiny. It's like he runs it in the back of another shop, but I can't fault him. He does do crazy pricing sometimes, almost like where he's doing it for cost almost, just because he also just likes to help people in the hobby. So I know people that can do 20%, and I think sometimes he's up like sort of 23, 24% sometimes. But yeah, if I can, I do like to get it from on Tabletop. Just throw those guys a bit of extra money for the cool service they provide us. Yeah, I started picking up a few here and there, and then I ended up just getting them all, because I've got. And that's kind of why when I mentioned the to that other person who was asking about start collecting, like the Orc one, I've got the Orc one, I've got the Skeletons one, I've got loads of them. In fact, I've just got the Sylvaneth one, because those boxes all do Warcry. And then once you've had a play with them, you can go, oh, do I actually think I want to go further and do something a bit more? Yeah, a bit more. Maybe go for a full army based on how I like playing with them. Seriously, has that music stopped again? The silence. Let me kickstart it again, maybe. No, it seems to believe it's playing. Try again. Yeah, the maggot kin is what's on the table at the moment. So I've got a team that's made up of 3 blight drones, some nurglings, and some plague walkers, pox walkers. Plague bearers, sorry, that's it, yes. The other ones are 40k, aren't they? All the ones I'm thinking of. Yeah, I thought a Warcry team made up of plague drones was quite cool. Although they don't fit very well with the terrain, because they've actually got quite large bases. That's it, yeah, that's it, yeah. So the only thing I'm unhappy with at the bird at the moment is that second set of feathers. I may change them, I may not, we'll see. Staff's looking good for what is essentially a white pole. The cloth is not looking too bad right now. I need to do some highlights on the top of the legs there and stuff. And I need to go and highlight the gold. I need to do another layer of white over this symbol. I'm not trying to go too crazy because you can end up getting really, well, I tend to end up just trying to do more. And the reality is I just want this to look okay on the table, so let's block in that bit of rock he's standing on. So yeah, that's what he's looking like at the moment. Hopefully you guys can see that. Let me just test. I haven't looked at it for a while. Yeah, it's looking alright. Hey James, this is a, what did I call it? It's an elf. Narrows it down. I did find it earlier. I've got it because it can be used as a hero in Silver Tower, but I think it's from the old Wood Elf range, and it's still out there, but it's like, where is it? It's a unit type, it's a hero, and it's in the Armies of Order, and it is an elf, an A elf I did find it earlier. I knew what to call it, but there it is. A nomad prince from the armies of sort of Sigmar now. Cities of Sigmar, yes, that's it. Yeah. But yes, painting today has been a long time. Thanks for coming back and saying hello. Yeah, it has been a long time. All well, thank you. Hope you are too. We just listened to the Prime Minister of the UK, kind of giving his sort of next steps on things as we continue in the craziness that we're in. So it looks like I'll be home painting a lot. I actually find all the memes about hobbies, you know, in the light of everything that's going on, it is occasionally to laugh at the hobby memes of we've been practicing for this stuff for a long time. You know, gamers and hobbyists getting locked in for 3 months. No worries. We were made for this. But yeah, I just you know, the whole isolation thing. I thought, why don't I? You know, there's not a lot I can do really to help people. I've sort of offered my tech skills out to family and friends of friends to say, hey, if I can help you get set up working from home or schooling from home, let me help you. But you know, I can't be anything like what the NHS are doing and people that actually do some good. And I thought, well, you know, also maybe getting some streaming out there if there's anyone that wants a bit of company, even just for myself as well. Selfishly, I need company too. So this is a nice way to stay in touch with people, take our minds off of what the hell's going on right now. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I reckon I've only got about 1,000 plus unpainted miniatures. I think I'm all right for a bit. So I looked in the, you know, literally looked in the drawer to see what was ready to go, and this was. 1 second, let me just grab a. Yeah, looked in one of the many drawers. What was primed? You know, as a bit of a test stream, let's paint something up quick. This was sitting there looking at me, and I was like, "Hey, you know what? Let's do it. Let's paint this guy." The reality is, I have got a whole bunch of projects I want to do. This wasn't on the list, but as a starter, I'll take it. Yeah. Yeah, it is quite. I mean, now I've started painting it. It's actually a really cool elf, right? It's actually and as you said there, yeah, the thing, yeah, checking in on neighbours, who, yeah, see if there's anyone around you can help. Again, without getting near them, because if you've got elderly neighbours, as much as you want to help, you've got to do it in a safe manner, right? So yeah, we've done similar things. You know, help where you can, do what you can. But yeah, it is a cool little off, and it's not mostly contrast. I've switched to a bit of like your normal paints for like the metallics and stuff, because it's not really good for that, to be honest. I'm not happy with the bird. It's the only thing I don't like, so it might be finding itself getting washed in white in a second. But otherwise, it's come out fine. We will cheat in a minute and do the gems by just using some technical paint. Again, I'll let the chat pick. You can have red gems, blue gems, or green gems. Oh, nice. Yeah, I was leaning towards red. Good luck. Don't forget to post us a pic of progress if you get far. I shall be here for a little bit if you want to come back and say hello, but yes, enjoy. Enjoy the painting. Thanks for coming and saying hello. It is always appreciated. Something is making that go silent every now and then. No? Oh. Yeah, it's true. That's why I do this. Only because yeah, I could sit here and have something gone, but hey, it'd be nice to engage in a conversation every now and then. And I guess we're not going to any hobby clubs anytime soon, so this is what we've got. Discord chats and Hangout chats and Twitch chats. This is about as good as it's going to get for a while. Right, let's grab a bit of gemstone. I've not used this paint in a long time, so we're going to give the old gemstone red a try. Oh, I can tell it's not been used for a while. I can't even hear the ball shaking yet. Come on. Surely you haven't dried completely. Let's have a look. Oh, maybe I didn't put an agitator in there. I thought I did in all my paints. Don't think there's any other gems on him. I think they're gems here. I can't see what else they would be. Okay. Nice. It's a nice set of scenery and it fills the board. Maybe I'll change a heart on these feathers. Need a bit of yellow. Oh, I've not got it. Whoa, what happened there? I don't have a yellow in Games Workshop colours. Okay. sure I've got a yellow. Someone's pinched my yellow somewhere. One of my kids has pinched my yellow. Blooming kids coming in here, stealing my paints for their own nefarious reasons. Yes, ordering. Yes, you have to go online, I'm afraid. You want to go out, dog? One second whilst I let the dog out. You're going to go for a run in the dog. Right, off you go. There we go. I think I'm going to go like that. And the only thing I might change now is the ribbon that he's kind of floating off his arm with, because having it white, because I've got white feathers and then this kind of like creamy white shoulder, that kind of blends in. So I'm now thinking about what colour to make that. And I feel like I want to go for something that's not quite in the rest of the model, just to make another just another thing to sort of stand out a little bit. It's only the ribbon. What would this pretty boy elf have as the colour of his ribbon? There's no yellow in the model. I could do a yellow. I don't think it'd be brown. It's not going to be red because the gems are red. It's not going to be blue because the blue's already there. I think we might go for yellow. It'll be quite subtle anyway. I don't mean yellow, neon yellow. I can always change it if I don't like it. That was quick. Yeah, I don't hate it. It's always a good place to start. I don't hate it. Right, we're now going to do some Stormhost Silver as like a final highlight to the silver and the gold, and now the dog wants to come back in again. You missed me, did you? Come on in. Come on in. Can you come say hello to everybody? Here we go, look. You got muddy paws. Yeah, look, come say hello to everyone, look. Say hello. Say hello. Hello, everybody. Oh, I'm getting a... you missed me, did you? Missed me? I've only been gone. You've only been gone 5 minutes. Yeah. It's just cold out. Yeah. Yeah. See it? You've been rolling around the grass. I can feel you. Got wet mouth. Right, if you behaved, you can sit on my lap, but are you going to behave? Right? No, you're not. You're going to try and eat paint, aren't you? You're going to try and eat paint. We'll have to do what other streamers do and get a dog cam, won't we? Right. If you let me finish up, then we can have a play. All right. Let me put you down. You go and rest on your cushion. All right. I'm gonna have a quick drink. How long are we going for? 2 hours. Come on, let's get this model done. Nice thing is, because it's going on a board game, I won't need to do anything fancy with the base. I am just going to paint it black. So, and then if it ever made it into an army of some description, I would redo its base. But given that it's just going to be a board game piece, there's no point. That is not coming out how I wanted it to. Oh, there is a gem right there. Come back and get that in a sec. He's got a gem right on his back plate there. Tiny little gem, but we'll get that. Yeah, just a tiny sort of silver update. Very bright silver just to highlight the gold a little bit. Right, that gem. We missed a gem. No one left behind, man. Right, did I say there's anything else I need to do? I think we're there. Now, if I think, could I have done this better? Absolutely. What I would have done, looking back at it, is now done a different colour on the inside of the cloak to the outside of the cloak. As in maybe a lighter colour. That's something my friend Gaz taught me to do, and I didn't for some reason. Like I say, I'm going to blame sort of getting back into this and not necessarily thinking it through first, but I'll live with it. I'm not going to repaint it. kind of live with the... But for a 2-hour model, what's that, 2 hours and 13 minutes, give or take a bit from, you know, watching, talking, moving around and stuff, I'm happy to call it 2 hours. What do you reckon, folks? From primer to tabletop, probably could have done it. I absolutely could have done it faster if I wanted to, but I think it's come out all right. Thanks, Lorna, and welcome. Yeah, exactly. It's you know, looking good. But yeah, I think if I'd gone back, I would have maybe done the cloak in a different colour. And you know, if it annoys me enough, I may go back and do it. I'd do it off stream. I could re-block out the cloak fairly quickly, and then go with a slight different colour, just so there was a contrast between the outside of the cloak and the inside of the cloak. But it doesn't irk me that much. Hopefully you guys can get a good enough look of it on the stream. Yeah, there we go. It's a hero for taking on the Silver Tower. Right, I think as a sort of coming back stream, I don't know if you're coming back streams to be honest over the time, I think that's come out, that's been alright. Got a miniature done, streamed for 2 hours, had about 10 people in the room, I think at one point, which was nice, had a few chats, pretty successful stream I'd say. Don't think I had any new followers, no, but that's completely expected. Yeah, we'll take it. We'll take it as a first go. Right, I will probably love you and leave you. Maybe I'll be back on tomorrow, but certainly more than usual. And hey, maybe we'll grab another one of these. I've got a whole bunch of them, like the Cogmaster and there's a pirate type character in there. These are all old sort of GW hero characters that are probably defunct a bit now, but are still used in things like Silver Tower, so therefore that's why I have loads of them. Yeah, we'll paint them up and we get them all to looking like this. Okay. Good night, folks. Thanks everyone for coming in. I'll see you all soon. Bye. Let's hope this button works. I've got a button. Let's see if the button does what I think it does. Hopefully the stream's about to end. Thank you very much, everyone. Goodbye.